Hey everyone, it's Rod Santomassimo with the Massimo Show. And in this episode, well, you got to hear what our guest has to share. And I tell you, it's inspirational, it's motivational, and yeah, it's educational, and will get you in the right mindset to get where you want to go in your career. On this Massimo Show, our special guest is Miss Whitney Tharaldson. Hi, this is Rod Santomassimo, and welcome to the Massimo Show. The objective of the Massimo Show is to share how you can maximize your personal, professional margin. That's right. Let's make more money in less time. Let's turn chaos into clarity, confusion into confidence, and income into real wealth. Along with sharing my insight on how I grew a multi-million-dollar professional business, we're going to bring you the expert advice from a variety of authors, consultants, and thought leaders who will provide the tools you need to maximize your own personal and professional margin. Welcome to the Massimo Show. Whitney, welcome to the Massimo Show.
Thank you, Rod. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
It's our pleasure. Absolutely. Whitney, look, every Massimo Show starts with one question, and so here it goes. When you were in high school, where were you located, and what was your passion?
When I was in high school, I was located in West Covina, California. It's in LA County. And my passion was fashion, volleyball, and not really school, but yeah, fashion, volleyball, and basketball, track. I was very athletic.
Congratulations. Yeah, my passion was lacrosse. So I understand completely the high school version of you. Okay. The super athlete who also enjoys fashion. What was the next phase for you after post high school? Where did you go off to?
Post high school, I went to Chapman University in Orange, California. I played volleyball there. And at that time, I was wanting to do physical therapy. So I was taking all sorts of science classes. Later along the line, I switched to become pre-dental. So lots of biology, chemistry. Then I became very studious.
Well, biology, chemistry, pre-dental, all preludes to where you ended up, to say the least. So
yes, exactly. Yeah. I thought I was going to be a dentist. I had no idea I would become a real estate broker.
Yeah. So the dentist who becomes a real estate broker who helps dentists is the cycle. So you got this back to the academic side of you starting in college. What was your first vocation? What was the first job you really had out of college?
The first job I had out of college was working in a law office that also did real estate. So that kind of laid the foundation for all of the knowledge that I have now. So partly during college, I worked at the law office. And then, yeah, they did real estate too. And then after that, like officially when I graduated, I wanted to pursue fashion. So I actually just got a job at Neiman Marcus. I was assistant to the personal shopper, and I quickly realized, okay, I don't want to go this route. So I kind of went back into the real estate world.
And for you, the entree into real estate was what exactly? What were you doing?
The same thing I'm doing now. I was an assistant to someone who sold practices and commercial real estate. And it was a family member. So I've been around this industry. I've been answering phones in a real estate office probably since I was 12 years old. So I just keep coming back to real estate.
I had no idea that you got your origin in real estate from working with a family member. I could relate to that, absolutely, but I had no idea. So when did you start to figure out that you really enjoyed helping medical practitioners with their real estate needs?
Well, working in the real estate offices of my family member, my grandfather was also a real estate broker and he flipped houses. He was a commercial real estate broker as well. So I've been around it really since birth. I wasn't sure if this is the route I wanted to go because I got into it at such a young age. Basically, like when I was 21 or 22, I started doing this. At 24, I got my broker's license and I started actively working on transactions more. But I kind of took a break from the real estate industry for a little bit of time and kind of explored other things. I had a corporate job for a few years where I excelled, and I quickly realized corporate was not for me. So I left and I went back to real estate again. And it's really probably right before I started working with the Massimo Group, I decided that this is what I want to do. This is what I want to pursue. I'm a specialist in my niche, and I just really like the interaction with mostly sellers. I really like helping sellers because most of the people I work with, I'm helping them retire. And I like working with dentists because they're extremely professional and I can speak their language because I have extensive background in the dental industry. So yeah, it's been really good. So I guess probably maybe 3 years ago, I started thinking like, this is what I want to do. This is what I enjoy doing. After being in the industry already for 10 years, I was just kind of going through the motions before when I was doing the job, kind of going through the motions, working for someone else, not sure if this is what I wanted to do. And now I'm like, okay, this is where I'm meant to be. And the business is just growing so much.
Well, before we get there, though, and this is not meant to be a Massimo commercial, so we'll take the coaching aside for a sec. What was your experience? Because I know you went through some struggles, so you weren't an overnight success, and no one is an overnight success. But you found your struggles early on, and you were doing odd jobs. We don't have to talk extensively about that, but you're doing some odd jobs to continue to pay your bills. But what did you start doing different to go from someone who was kind of doing commercial real estate to now having, and you're an amazing brand, and you're working and becoming the dominant individual for dentist representation in your market and now in others? What was the catalyst that made the switch? What just changed it where you became better at what you were doing?
First of all, I was looking for a commercial coach for a while, and I spoke to some different coaches that were more general. And one coach that I spoke to, it was just like an introductory call, told me you need to get some cash flow going. So I was like, I started my brokerage in 2017, and this was right when I started the brokerage. And he said, you need to get some cash flow. So I just got a job. I got a job working in this boutique, which is probably one of the worst decisions because then I couldn't pursue commercial real estate at all because I'm tied up in a job 6 hours a day. I mean, I'm just kind of trying to preface this a little bit. So yeah, I've had a lot of odds and ends jobs just to kind of do for fun. I kind of consider them kind of like a hobby in a sense, also to help support me and pay my bills and everything while I work on the real estate brokerage. So the catalyst really for the business becoming successful and me being where I am today is I'm all in. Like, I think that's the main thing. I'm just 100% committed. Whereas in the past, I was like, okay, sometimes I would enjoy doing the business, but once the transaction got difficult or something didn't sell, I would just get completely discouraged and go and pursue something else altogether. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to do something else. I want to do this. It's not working. So it was just that decision, me being like, okay, I need to go all in, because I'm used to being generally a successful person in most of the things I pursue. And I wasn't having success in real estate. And I just started to realize after a lot of like soul searching and a lot of time off pursuing other things that I don't want to do anything else. So just being 100%, this is what I'm doing. I don't care if I feel like doing something else. Like, I'm just going to push through. And Massimo Group and my coach Howard have helped me do that because there's no way Howard's letting me just do something else. And also he's like invested so much time into me. So like, I'm not doing anything else. Like, that's not even a thought in my mind. That's the biggest thing.
So it was the commitment. It was being all in. And look, for some people, for many people, it's hard to take that dive in the deep end when it's full commission and you're just not sure. And you definitely had some toes in the water and doing odd jobs while seeing this was for you. But it wasn't until you said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, and fail or succeed, you gave it your all. And there's a saying that results never come before commitments. And they don't. You have to get the commitments first. Hey everyone, this is Rod Santomassimo, and I hope you're enjoying this episode, which is focused on growing your commercial real estate business. Now, speaking of growing your commercial real estate business, did you know that the Massimo Group has worked with thousands of your commercial real estate peers over the last decade plus? And yeah, our clients consistently out-earn their peers by 7x. In fact, last year, our clients earned over $412 million in commissions and fees. Want to learn more? check us out at massimo-group.com. That's massimo-group.com, and schedule a free strategy session today. So you made the commitment.
Yeah.
You said you're going to focus on dentists in your market and help them both lease and sell. Is it leasing and selling or just selling? Which one is it?
I would like to do leasing. I would like to get back to that, but it's too much work for the compensation. So at this point, I'm selling dental practices and medical buildings. I'm turning away a lot of business right now. So I'm actively building my team so I can accommodate. I can do leasing and all sales, all medical buildings.
I really hope people heard what you just said. So I love this. You recognizing the higher probability and higher commissions are on the sales side. They obviously are on the practice side. They obviously are. But because of who you work with, they have additional needs. And a lot of people say, well, I can't help. Sorry. But you're saying, no, I'll build out a team so I can help with those elements of the business, which is the ideal thing to do. So you also, Whitney, you've really leveraged social media as well as most people that I've ever met, and our clients still struggle. I mean, most clients, most brokers struggle with social media. There are those that stand out. We don't have to even name them, but we know who they are. But you really start creating a niche. So what's your theory and your posture on leveraging social media?
I think in this day and age, it's really important to leverage social media. I make an effort to add, when I meet clients, dentists, buyers, sellers, anyone in the industry, I've been doing this probably since 2010. I add them on Facebook, I add them on LinkedIn, I add them on all of the platforms. So my mentality is everything that I do, I want every person I'm connected with to see it. So that only works if you're posting all the time and if you have a plan. So I've really ramped up my stories, my social media presence in the past few years. But social media, it's a strategy. So I think about what are the things that I want people to know about me, to see about me personally and professionally. I kind of have this in my mind, and I just choose content that's going to appeal to my audience, because now the analytics with social media are so powerful. You can see which posts are more popular. So I'm just catering all my posts to doing that. But social media, I think it's just a big commitment, and it's difficult to put yourself out there. But I think you just have to do it as a real estate broker and in any business. People get a bad taste in their mouth when we're talking about self-promotion, but there's no way you're going to grow your business if people don't know what you're doing. So just getting out there and just taking risks. I actually worked on this a lot, afraid maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I was working with a general kind of business coach who focused on online businesses. And that's when I really kind of came out of my shell with social media. I was afraid if I came across too girly or it was too much fashion or too many pets, me personally, if there was too much of me personally, people wouldn't like it. But it's been the exact opposite. The more people know who I am personally, the more they react to my post. So I think my strategy is just combining personal and professional so that people feel like they really know you. That's kind of my strategy.
And how do you manage? Do you manage your social media? Does someone do it for you? Tell me about that.
I manage all my social media currently. It's a lot of work actually to do, but I kind of just make a conscious effort to snap photos when I'm doing things, put stories up. I would like to have someone manage it, but currently it's all me.
Have you found an ROI at all? Can you point to any specific thing? Now, social media is a presence play as much as the prospecting play, but since you have an ROI on your efforts?
I keep track of where all my buyers and sellers come from. A lot of the buyers are coming from social media.
There you go.
And yeah, exactly. So I should calculate the ROI. You're not going to want to hear this, but I haven't been able to implement any of the Massimo prospecting methods at all because I get so much business just from social media, mailings, but I'm not there yet where I can implement the Massimo way because frankly, my business is going to explode once I start doing that. And I don't have the capacity to handle all the listings.
Look, I love what you shared. You're leveraging Massimo principles and other things. You're building your business. You're going to build your team. This is awesome. So when you start leveraging more principles, you'll have more business and more team members. And then you'll have probably more offices across the West Coast, if not the nation. So
yes.
Whitney, this is awesome. What you're saying is coming so natural to you, but others need to hear this is how in niches, and you're a niche producer, which makes you, look, the riches are in the niches. That's what it is, right? The riches are in the niches. Find what you do it really, really well. So what's the vision for you and your practice? Where is it going?
Well, as you can imagine, I don't have that many competitors within my niche. All my competitors are double my age, no joke. So they're not really able to utilize social media the way I can. So basically where I'm going is I want to add, I would say, at least 5 brokers by this year to focus solely on the medical buildings. The practices I can handle with my back-end staff. But really what I would like to do is I would want to take over all of California in my niche. I know all my competitors, most of them personally. So I know their strengths, weaknesses. A lot of my competitors are going to be leaving the market soon. So there's an opportunity for me to purchase other brokerages. And I have good relationships with a lot of my competitors. And also I've identified several states that I would like to work in at some point. Maybe me personally manage a business or franchise it. Other states I've identified that have a large population of dentists are Texas, Florida, New York, North Carolina, Arizona. So it could be a very large operation. So that's my goal. I think on the second call I had with my coach, I told him my plans. I drew it all out. I told Howard, we need to have this division, this division. So basically, I mean, it could go into like having consulting, having legal, all for dentists, estate planning, accounting. But for now, the focus is growing the real estate portion of it. So having a division for practices, for medical buildings, for leasing, for appraisals. And I kind of have like plans how to do all of this, but I need people. I need good people. So that's what I'm working on.
Again, subconscious competence and confidence, Whitney, is such a significant factor in you and your success. Most folks don't think outside the transaction, outside the current thing they're doing. I'm a leasing expert. I'm a sales expert. This is what I do. But that's the difference. And that's why you are our CRE Elite Member of the Year at Massimo, because it's not only where you were, but what you become and where you're going and growing is even most impressive. So Whitney, so much incredible value and so much incredible content that you just shared. So I cannot thank you enough for being part of this Massimo show.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for having me, Ron.
Whitney, if you gave anyone a word of advice in regards to growing in commercial real estate, what would it be?
Think big and don't give up. Have a strategy.
And commit.
Commit. Think big. Have a strategy. And don't give up.
There you go. Hey, Whitney, how do folks follow you? How do they check you out? Where do they go to see more and hear more about you?
You can just Google me, Whitney Tharaldson. My website will come up. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Everything will come up if you Google me. I have every platform.
And so look, if you're interested in pursuing a career in medical leasing sales, whether you're in Southern California or North Carolina or wherever you are, hey, connect with Whitney and become part of her enterprise.
Yes, call me.
Okay, Whitney, thank you so much. And for everyone else out there, you know what we say, Whitney gave you a lot of knowledge, but it doesn't really matter. You got to now go out and apply it because knowing isn't doing. Just go out and be a doer. Until next time, this is Rod Santomassimo with The Massimo Show. I want to thank you for listening to this version of The Massimo Show. And please go out and share this with your friends, your colleagues. Heck, share it with your dog. Just share it. And more importantly, just give me some feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. We all grow from understanding what our audience wants to hear. So until next time, this is Rod Santomassimo with The Massimo Show.